Alright my friends, today we're going out to meet up with a guy called Craig who commented on a video I did a little while ago and said he was a local mountain biker and did I want to go out for a ride. We're going to meet up today at Maiden Castle, which is a hill fort on the edge of town. My goodness, look at that, look at that. Isn't that glorious? Yeah, he's going to show me some trails and talk about some weird and wonderful things maybe. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a cyclist up there. You can see his red light going, his tail light. So I'm going to hazard a guess that that's the guy. I've got 9 minutes before the sun comes up over that horizon, so I'm going to try and get up there to that cyclist. Hello there. In the next 9 minutes. Right, I'm up here. That's the guy. Look at this, it's going to be a stunning sunrise.
Grand risings.
Grand risings. Picked the right morning for it, didn't we?
It's an adventure, isn't it? How you doing?
Look at this.
Yeah.
I was riding just down there. I don't know if you saw me. I saw your tail light blinking. I thought,
yeah, I
damn.
flashed you because I got here about, I left Time Hardy's Monument way because it was all a bit of a synchronicity of how I connected with how bizarre it all is with Catstock Lodge.
Oh, really?
Off grid and then flat Earth. And again, this is my hometown. I've been sort of everywhere, and I always come back to it. I've been travelling for years and not working. Obviously, that's why we're in this level of the game, aren't we? And other people aren't. What a wonderful time to be alive, and they're just like blank face. I'd stare, and they're just like.
Hold on a second, my friend. We've got to pause momentarily here.
Stunning day yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was in front of a computer like pretty much all day yesterday, and then in the afternoon I was like, if you don't go out and just sit on Mulberry Rings for half an hour.
It's that nature connection. Everyone again is just, we all strive for it. You see, everyone wants it. But it's just that.
I mean, you must know what an addictive personality is, right?
Oh, it varies to. Yeah.
Because for me, I got real good at beating addictions, but I found that it's now I just get addicted to it, like really innocuous stuff. Like I'll binge watch YouTube, and because I'm out in the woods there and I'm off grid, technically off grid, a lot of the time, that's cut it down. But I'm concerned now that I'm going back into living in a town, in a house with the Wi-Fi and that I might just fall back in old habits. So I've got to be really careful not to sit in front of the computer. That's something I've got to be really careful of.
It's that robosexual nature we've all become addicted to, isn't it? Because of the grid, so to speak.
It's a stimulant, isn't it? There's the buzzing electricity just in the walls, In my parents' place, they're in a really modern apartment, so there's just wires everywhere in the walls, and there's all the Wi-Fi and all the TVs and stuff are wireless, and they're all talking to each other, and you can feel it. You can feel it.
Yeah, and it's just that escape of. But I say, I think probably the same as you. You've been searching for this. Anyway, through connections,
For me, I mean, I came out of a relationship, I took that pretty hard, and that was probably the very start of 2017, I think, and then I met a group of people called The Tribe, and they were the kind of people who you see on Facebook just posting all this random information that's blowing your mind, but they're just strangers on the internet. But actually meeting them in person, that was a big step up for me, because I realised that I wasn't the only one.
Well, this
is why you need to go and actually meet with people in the real world, and even just do random things like this, because it's a world of difference to just communicating online. You're in isolation then, and you're doing it through the machine, but we meet without the machine.
Reality.
Yeah.
Otherwise
it is just important.
Get riding.
Let's just ride, yeah.
Warm up. We've all had it those cold nights.
Yeah, well, I reckon this kind of cold I'm going to be in trouble. But, I'll just go to bed wearing everything I've got with me. Hope for the best.
Again, it's all that low vibration of, you're in that root chakra, you're in your belly's full, so fuck everyone else, I'm all right, Jack. It's that mentality of like, I've had my fill. It's that ultimate fuck everything else, and me, and that's what I think they're like almost like ego worms, I call them, like ego parasites. And
Parasites, right?
yeah, so papaya seeds is like an ancient sort of Asian thing. 'Cause it's
I
around
used
the
to
papaya
smoothie a
seeds,
lot
you've
of
got like
papaya.
a gel, which is really bitter, and they hate the bit. And then,
Okay.
so yeah, copious amounts of coriander. You know,
But they fight back, you know. The parasites aren't. They're not just passive organisms
No.
in your gut, are they? They're
No.
like plugged into your nervous system
emotions.
somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, and again,
They do a lot of the what we think of as thinking. They do a lot of the thinking for us somehow.
yeah. Overnight, or you?
No, it took me a year to transition.
You were stereotypical, just the standard diet, and then
I think mum and dad gave us a pretty good idea of what was healthy food from a mainstream standpoint, but then I started watching a guy on YouTube called Ralph Smart. He was always banging on about
he's
the 7-day vegan challenge, and I never thought that I would ever do it. I somehow thought that it was going to be
impossible.
too difficult to maintain. But I didn't set out to try and become vegan. I remember actually I helped a guy move some fridges at the county show, and he gave me a block of cheese to say thanks, and I said, right, I'm going to eat this block of cheese and then I'm going to give veganism a go. And I did it for 3.5 years.
You felt better at the beginning.
I felt incredible for 2 years. Especially my skin was terrible when I started, and I almost completely healed it. You know, veganism was a big part of that. Sorry, not veganism, the plant-based diet was a big part of that. The ism part of it is fucking nonsense. It doesn't help anybody.
The acid your body and alkalise it, and it should. And I said to the doctor, and he was trying to give me these allopurinol tablets, and I remember saying to my dad, I said, no, I said, I won't have gout ever again. He goes, oh no, he said, you've got to take these tablets 2 a day. Well, that was 20 years ago, and it's never come back. So I quite often joke with my dad and how.
Does he still take the tablets now?
He does, yeah.
And he's still got gout?
The minute he stops taking the tablet, it'll come back.
Yeah.
So it's just pushing the problem somewhere else. But now there's definitely been a consciousness shift in people that
they're more accepting of the fact that mainstream medicine.
Yeah, they're willing to go actually. And that's what I said to my little girl. All of these words we speak in effect mean nothing. It's your actions, it's what you actually create, isn't it? Yeah, I'm a big believer in this year, the 2020. You've heard of Martin Kenny?
No, I don't think so.
He said he was just I don't know, going to work like normal, eating normal. Then the flat earth bubble popped for him, and he almost invented the cosmic egg cosmology. No?
What, a concept of how the physical universe is?
It was like we're in that cosmic egg, two toroidal, like 2 donuts, and we're in that flat. And then you've got the outer rings where, like, you know, Mars is just a further away sun in their big realm.
Well, no, I haven't heard of that model, but I know there are a lot of competing models. I know it's not all just about the azimuth or equidistant.
Well, yeah.
North Pole in the centre, UN flag, because
they wouldn't be that blasé, would they?
There's too many problems with that model.
Yeah. Do you think time's sped up for you? Do you think time's changed? I think everything's faster now.
Yeah.
In my head. The days aren't what they were. Like the days whiz by now.
Well, it could be aging. That's how people explain it away. It could be aging, but it does feel like a singularity is coming.
Yeah.
And it also feels like everybody's concept of how close this singularity might be, or whether or not it's actually happened for them yet, is different.
Yeah. Something's happened. I say, time and then the distances, because again, probably most like you, we're travelling, we're actually connected to the ground when we travel quite a lot.
So one of the main benefits of cycling to France and deliberately cycling through the major cities is to get that.
You've absorbed the whole
journey. Yeah. I don't just want to fly across the ground or even just drive on the main roads. You know?
Waltz out of an airport, getting a taxi.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that makes things easy. Yeah.
Too easy.
Yeah. But this way I'm gonna have an idea, because every day I got up and I rode my bike 50 miles, and I did that for 6 days, and that's how far it was. My brain's gonna know what that really means.
Yeah, and you get up and it's about that getting up and being you know, the ego wants you sometimes to give up, doesn't it? The ego wants you to sit in your room and binge eat and watch Netflix all day because you're quite happy living that life.
A lot of the things you're saying about the fruit and about the really simple, taking it real back to simple, like so fruit and maybe hemp seeds or something. Like I still kind of, there's a part of me that says, don't listen to that bullshit, we tried that. And I know that that's the fucking, it's the ego, it's the parasites, it's the parasites talking to me in my head and telling me don't listen to that, because they kind of know that that is,
what's there?
That's trouble for them. They know it's, yeah, it could be. It's trouble for them. I have to believe that it is. I have to believe that I can become free of that, because that's what stopped me in the past. So I have to go back to that healing, that cleansing.
Yeah.
And I have to ignore the voice in my head that says, no, we've already been there and tried that. Because I did try it, and I fasted for 7 days, and that was like the hardest thing I'd ever done. I know people fast for much longer, with much easier than I did it. I took it hard.
Oh, it's a killer, yeah.
Because there was something in me that was saying, this is mental.
Yeah, it's a constant, it's like that voice that never gives up, isn't it? It's constant. Big old drop down there, that little cave.
There's a quarry.
Yeah, it's like a sinkhole or something that just looks so dodgy. The top, but imagine it all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it gets bigger every year.
So we're not far from where you live now then?
You know where you crashed?
Yeah.
That real steep, they do like trail, like motorbike, little quad track.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite, I say, when I seen you doing it, I was thinking, that's quite...
I know where that is. Holy shit! Gets real muddy there, doesn't it?
I say it's just so hard to find, just to be left alone, isn't it? In the woods.
Not if you pick your spot well enough.
You've managed, what, 2 years, nothing?
2 years, yeah.
The bus is up just at the top of there. There's actually
and this is not where you live now, it's where somewhere you used to live.
This is where I was trying to get in like 2 years ago when I came back from travelling, and I said to my mate, I'm not getting a house. I said, I've done the house. Again, it was through a mate, no council tax, no bills.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there he is, up there. See it? See it now?
Yes, I see it, yeah. Just about. I mean, it's because it's grey, it's hard to see, isn't it?
I say I'd be doing all sorts of other stuff. I just get, obviously my parents and my daughter, it's quite hard once you've got kids involved. Again, for years my parents have always thought I was crazy. My mum sort of gets it all, my dad's hard work. He's a lot more, I don't know, regimented in his, I don't know, not Victorian belief systems, but maybe from his mum and dad. Not so much he's not going to win, but I've got a lot more knowledge of his ball again. You know, he doesn't know anything about these dimensions, the speeds in the air, you know.
I'm pretty fortunate with my parents. They're just so accepting of the fact that I've got to try these things for my own benefit, you know. So when I was a teenager, they were always like, yeah, if you want to go and experiment with cannabis with your mates or whatever,
crack on.
That's your choice, yeah.
Yeah.
Very supportive parents, very loving parents. You know, because of the YouTube thing, because they do watch occasionally, they can see I'm able to articulate things through YouTube that I could never say to people. So actually a big part of the reason I do YouTube is to talk to the people who have kind of...
You can't talk to.
Exactly, yeah.
That's the beauty. Yeah, it's like, what's the word, it's spreading a message without letting people don't know they're being educated, do they?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
You want a quick tea?
I would not complain about a nice hot cup of tea, my friend.
Yeah.